Let me ask you something real. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, when did I stop being me? When did my light dim? When did I become the version of myself that lives for everyone else, but not for me? Because here's the quiet truth almost nobody says out loud. Most people don't fail in life. They simply forget who they are. Not because they are weak, but because life demanded too much, for too long. And if you don't recognize yourself anymore, if you feel like you disappeared inside roles, expectations, trauma, survival, relationships, illness, motherhood, caregiving, or simply years of being strong, stay with me. Because today, we are going to talk about how to come back home to yourself. Hi, I'm Valkyrie, and in this episode, we're going to gently, honestly, powerfully explore something so many humans are secretly living through: losing your identity and reclaiming it. Today, we're going to talk about how people lose themselves without realizing it, signs you're not living as you anymore, why this happens psychologically and spiritually, how trauma, survival, caretaking, chronic pain, grief, or emotional conditioning shape identity, and, most importantly, practical, grounded ways to begin returning to yourself, safely, kindly, and powerfully. And we are doing this calmly, lovingly, human to human, because you are not broken. You are not too late. You are simply remembering. How do we lose ourselves? People don't wake up one morning and suddenly lose their identity. It happens slowly, quietly, in moments so small we don't notice. You lose yourself when you were always the strong one. You became what others needed instead of who you are. You dimmed yourself to keep peace. You were taught to be good instead of being real. Trauma made you survive instead of express. You learnt love meant self-abandonment. You were told your needs didn't matter. You became a role instead of a person. The mom, the wife, the caretaker, the healer, the achiever, the fixer. Psychology calls this adaptive identity. You shape yourself to stay safe, accepted, or loved. Spiritually, your soul steps back. Your survival takes over, and you keep going until one day something wakes you. A heartbreak, a burnout, a breakdown, a dark night of the soul, or simply a quiet moment when you realize, I don't feel like me anymore. Signs you've lost yourself. Let's speak truth, because understanding brings awareness, and awareness brings power. Here are powerful signs you may have lost your sense of self. You don't know what you truly like anymore. Decision-making feels overwhelming. You feel numb or disconnected from joy. You apologize for existing. You over-explain yourself constantly. You tolerate things your soul is screaming against. Your self-worth depends on others' approval. You're functioning, but not living. Silence feels uncomfortable because you don't want to hear your own thoughts. You grieve something, but you don't even know what it is. And here's the biggest one. You feel a quiet sadness. Not depression, a soul sadness. The kind that whispers, there was once more to you than this. My friend, that whisper is not weakness. That is life trying to bring you back to yourself. Stay with me, because the next part is where we move from understanding to reclaiming. This is where identity shifts from who life made me back to who I truly am. Why losing yourself happens. This isn't failure. This isn't weakness. This is human biology and emotional survival. When the nervous system is overwhelmed, it goes into survival. And survival mode does not ask, who am I? It asks, how do I stay safe? So you shrink to avoid conflict, people please to prevent abandonment, stay silent to avoid rejection, toughen up to survive pain, overachieve to feel worthy, attach identity to roles so you don't disappear completely. Add grief, add illness, add caregiving, add being emotionally responsible for everyone else. Identity gets buried under responsibility. But here's the truth I want you to hear. You didn't lose yourself. You protected yourself. And now, it may finally be safe to come back. How to reclaim yourself. Identity is not about becoming something new. It is about returning. So how do you begin? 1. Start with honesty. Say it out loud. I don't feel like myself anymore. Truth unlocks healing. Stop performing notice where you act instead of exist, where you smile when you're exhausted, where you say I'm fine when you're not. 3. Reconnect with your inner voice. Quiet time. Journaling, walking alone, breathing, even simply asking, what do I truly feel right now? 4. Allow the grief. Identity loss is grief. Grief for who you used to be. Grief for who you never got to be. Letting tears fall is returning. 5. Build self-trust again. Small decisions. Your choices, your voice, your boundaries, bit by bit. Your nervous system learns, I am safe being me. 6. Inner alchemy. Transform your past into wisdom, your pain into depth, your survival into strength, your story into power. You are not finding yourself. You are coming back. The return. You were never meant to disappear in this life. You were meant to live it, and maybe, just maybe, you didn't lose yourself. Maybe your soul simply refused to stay in a life that did not honor it. And now you are remembering, you are allowed to take up space, to breathe, to speak, to rest, to change, to soften, to heal, to awaken. You are allowed to exist as you. And if nobody has told you this in a long time, I am proud of you for surviving, for still being here, for choosing to return to yourself instead of abandoning yourself forever. That is real strength. If this spoke to you, then your soul is asking for more life, more truth, more you. Tell me in the comments, where did you lose yourself? And where are you starting to reclaim you again? Because your story matters, your journey matters, and you matter. If you'd like more support on healing, awakening, inner strength, nervous system truth, emotional resilience, and deep human becoming, subscribe, stay, walk this path with me. This is Valkyrie, this is your lighthouse, and it is time to come home to yourself. As always, this has been Valkyrie. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, be kind to yourself and others.